Hello and welcome to the DFS underscore PhD show for today, the 22nd of February, the return from break. Remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. But it's been a while since there's been a lot of basketball. So, I mean, I could show you Madden Sims like screenshots or whatever, but that's not that exciting. They don't give away that much money in Madden Sims. So instead, let's drill down for today's slate. And I was trying to wait out the news, but every time I try to wait out the news, I wait a long time, keep checking my phone, no news, and then I finish making this video and boom, some news. So I know it's going to happen again today. So far, though, it seems like this slate is about one thing, and it's about whether or not Donovan Mitchell plays. So, if he's in, then this video. If he's out, then we're going to do jamming the big guys. So Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. Everybody always is like, I'm going to play Darius Garland or whatever. But no, if you look at the usage, and we've got 350, 380, lots and lots of minutes. That's lots and lots of minutes. It's Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. So that's where you should go. And so that's where I will be going if he is in fact out. And how do you know if he's out? Well, generally you look at underdog, right? And that'll be the final word. But with Donovan, you get a real good clue from Donovan himself. Every single day between about 12:45 and 2 p.m. Pacific time, he tweets this. On days he plays, almost every day he plays. So like I think it's all but one day that he played. So I forget which way is the 100% correct inference. But if he doesn't tweet it, you assume he's out for your builds. And I mean, this is the game, it's in the first round of games, so it's not going to be a big deal. You can just wait until 30 minutes before lock, set your lineup then, no problem at all. But if you're thinking about the slate early, this is the tea leaves that we are reading. This is one pretty good tea leaf. Oh yeah, I have the late slate for later, but first the main slate. So assuming that he is in, then all of this talk. So assuming he's in, then the slate is about the one person who is out, which we know so far, which is Nesmith. So with Nesmith out currently, let me make sure, do I have currently up? Yeah, okay, this is the most recent projections from SaberSim. They are projecting it to be Mathurin who plays the most minutes. I think that's probably true. You'll see a smattering of Jarris Walker people out there too, because there was a picture of him in shoot-arounds wearing the starter's penny or whatever. And so if he starts, I think you need to play some Jarris Walker. He's flat min price, and if he gets starter minutes, I'm going to be raising him a little bit. I'm not sure about Mathurin. I think I'm still going to jam Mathurin either way. It's just a lot of minutes here. So like if I sort it by minutes, who's getting those minutes? Obi Toppin, right. So that's the other thing. Like it's all about if Jalen Smith plays for me with Obi Toppin. Because if Jalen Smith doesn't play, I think Obi Toppin is pressed into significantly heavier service as kind of a backup big as well. Um, as kind of, replacing a little bit of what Nesmith used to do. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do on the wing here. I might mess around with Toppin a little bit, get him more in the mix if Jalen Smith is out. But I do think you need a smattering of Jarris Walker in your lineups, assuming he starts. And again, that's an early game, so it's not like there's going to be big edge. You should rerun your sims and everything up to 10, 5 minutes before lock. Make sure you have the most updated ownerships when you run those very last lineups. When you run your very last contest sims, etc., whatever it is that you're doing. I'm not a contest sim guy, as you guys know. We go over to lineups just so I can show you one time what I'm ranking them by. I'm ranking them by the appropriate Saber score. So Saber score for whatever slate. Because when I was doing testing of Pro versus Ultimate, when they first priced out Ultimate, and I was still on the beta, so I could see the capabilities of Ultimate, it seemed to capture about 88, 90%. So for me, with my playthrough, it didn't make sense to pay up. And also now I've done it a different way. What was it? An estimate of profit variance based on ownership error. Yeah, and so basically ROI is going to be at least 10, 20% off, and it's only 10% better on average. So I don't know, yeah. I'm still not there with contest sims. That's why I don't pay for them. That's what I'm saying. I do see the guys winning up top with contest sims. I do think there's a way to test. Oh yeah, that's anyway. I need to email or an interesting idea for Sheets. I need to tweet him that. I was trying to remember what media we were talking in. Okay. Because I do think we can do something like the Darko thing. I think we can do a Darko DPM for all the sites, and I think that would be something people would be interested in just as a horse race, right? Like the Darko DPM ownership accuracy of ETR versus whatever. I suspect they would have momentum shifts and stuff, and one would be rising and falling, etc. And you just do this based on the variation of the people's scores, right? So I think, or wait, no. Right. There would be some emphasis put on the scores of people with the avatar and some emphasis put on the ownerships of the people with any. Okay, way off topic. All right. I'll flesh out my Darko DPM for the various DFS sites idea in the future. Okay, so besides Mathurin, who is an obvious value out of the Indiana situation, we also have Keyontae George, who's just playing massive minutes. They haven't appropriately updated for his usage yet. I just love the guy. I mean, like if you watch him play, he's dynamic. He's hitting shots, but also playing defense, getting out on the break, getting plenty of assists, even getting some rebounds out there for a little guy. So I love Keyontae. Anybody who is like actively trying to score every fantasy point possible, I'm going to get him on my team a lot. So that's what's happening with him. Colin Sexton, same deal. A lot of opportunity for these Utah guys. Who did I change projections of, and with what reason and what rules? You guys always like to see the rules. Let me introduce the rules. So maximum one LA center, but I didn't even boost Plumlee because his price is too high, so it wound up just a meaningless rule. Don't worry about that one. Max 2 out of 3 New Orleans Pelican stars, max 2 out of 3 Phoenix stars, and then I go in and I boost those guys. So you'll see where they fall. It basically, I think it more appropriately weighs like Durant's bet, his good game is a little bit better than Shea's good game. You know what I mean? Just because he has a little bit more upside in other departments besides scoring. No offense to Shea. I love Shea. Yeah, he's definitely a possibility today. I'm not unclicking. You notice over here in 52 lineups, which is the number of tickets I have left over from the satellite strategy. I have these, I'm not unclicking any of these guys. Everybody at the top is fine. If you want to go a little heavier on Maxey, that's fine. With Embiid still out and him at 5%, I really like that. I think I might just bias it a little bit just because compared to all these other guys, like the opportunity is all his on that team. You know what I mean? So, and I know this is not right. Oh, yeah, actually, I had a reason to do it, which was minutes. I think they're projecting him for 38 minutes, and this is about what they have on court IQ for him for 36. Yeah, so 38.4. So versus 36, that's about 10% more, and that puts me at 50, and that's where I want to put him anyway. So I'm putting Maxey up at 50 now, and I'm going to limit that to the chance he shoots well, which is about 15%. I mean, it's the Knicks. They're not like amazing. And it's shoots well or blows by him, blows by Brunson. Doesn't feel as likely. I do feel like Brunson may be more able and likely to trick him into something. But I like Maxey up at the top. I can't possibly put him higher than Halliburton. I do like them both better than these guys who are slightly beneath them. Is that true for Brunson? I don't know. I might put Brunson at the same level. I like those guys in that game, and I think like as shooters, I kind of want to get to them a little bit more because it's clear how they get to their upside. They hit their shots. Halliburton, I don't know. Yeah, same deal. I got to cap him at shooter level because, I mean, I saw the All-Star game too, but I know he's coming back from injury. I don't think he's got the same kind of upside as those other guys. Okay, so when I do that, I assume I get a fair smattering of these guys. Perfect. Shooter amounts of Maxey, shooter amounts of Brunson. That's what I want. Shooter amounts of Spida, maybe, but it's against Orlando. That's not that great. So anyway, the other rules we had. Clippers. So the Clippers guys, I like Kawhi, I like Harden, and I like them both a little better than Harden. So I put Harden down here with the New Orleans guys, and I put Kawhi and Paul George just a slight step above him to sample the distribution a little bit higher. Because when they're all three healthy, I think it's Harden who's going to take the back seat. I think we've seen that all year long, and I want to have that in my projections. I might even no, because it's max 2 out of 3. I have to leave the Harden elevated as well. I just think it's unlikely, so I put him at max 5%. Okay, was there other rules? Let me just make sure I've told you all my rules before I leave it. I don't think there are. That's why I had left it. Okay. Confirming and amount of salary I'm leaving, no more than 200. It's just we're too late in the year and there's just no value right now. So every dollar you leave on the table is some point per dollar that you're going to have to make back somewhere else that's going to be tough. So, okay. Up at the top, yeah. Okay, good. They've changed their projections. Earlier today, it was like Doncic was like 62 and Jokic was like 69. And I was like, no, what's going on? These guys are the exact same play. So I try to even those out up at the top. And whenever there's a guy like Jokic and Doncic that are just way above everybody else, I set them to their way above everybody else level. And then I limit the game and ownership based on what I think about the game environment. So Doncic is going to be in a close one. He's going to be against Phoenix. It's one of the higher scoring games on the slate. I love Doncic today. I love him. I love him a lot. What am I talking about? We pop him up to 35%. If we're maxing out Doncic, we can get more. I might go to the store for even more Doncic after this. We'll see. As long as it's not taken away from my Jokic levels, I love it. I love Doncic here. But anyway, so besides that, I equal them out, and I'm going to be about the field. I don't love Jokic. The reason I don't love Jokic is that he's in a game where he should blow him out. Washington's bad. I know Denver's not been like great this year, but I don't know. I'm not there with that game. And so I give it a 20% chance that he's able to get there in the amount of time he has. I just worry about the amount of time they're going to give Jokic today. So that's why I'm like back up the truck on Doncic, but I don't know on Jokic. I just don't know. And same deal with Doncic. Like now the question is, and the reason I probably won't go higher than 35%, it's a big slate. Is he going to be optimal? Like even if he scores 75, 80, like a lot of it, if he hits his upside scenario, I don't know. Like where is his top third? Where's his top third look like? I know he scores a lot, but when do we add up to 33%? You can look at the individual Saber Sim scores from all of their game sims here. Okay, so 1, 2, 5, 7, 17, 29. So 30 is about 70. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So I'm not telling yeah. Basically, yeah, I've made sure that my percent of Doncic checks out. All right, let me look at my leverages just to show you guys my top leverage plays. Marvin Bagley. Am I going to have that much Marvin Bagley? No. But am I going to have a solid amount? Yes. He's a great play. He's getting a ton of minutes on this new team. He's a great point per minute guy. If he's 7%, I'll take 35% maybe. But he's not going to be like core player or anything because Marvin Bagley's not like a good player. He has a lot of opportunity to grab rebounds or whatever. Sexton, fine with him being one of my highest leverage plays. Mathurin, same. Vooch is just kind of getting there as a result of like position and value. He's playing a lot. He should be able to own Boston. Now the question is, what's the chance that he gets those full extended minutes? What do you think, 30%? It's not quite 40%. So I'll lower that a little bit. Suggs has just been, I love his point per minute. Oh, yeah, okay, up at the top now. I was like, I don't want him to go down. But Suggs, that's a little high. I don't want to be above like 30% Suggs, 3x, because he's good play, but like minutes are so unsecure on that team with those point guards. There's just infinity point guards on that team at all times. I mean, I guess I should double check that, having said it. How many are active right now? So it's just, come on, Siri. Cole Anthony Suggs, Anthony Black. Okay, so that means one of those guys is still hurt. Markel Fultz is still out, I guess. Yeah, okay. So as long as Fultz is out, definitely fine with a fair amount of Suggs. 40% is a bit much. Is 35% much? No, not really. I like Suggs. He's a great play. I'm not against it. Wendell Carter's a guy where, like, if you told me that he got 30 minutes, I would just love him. It's just that they've been playing him and Mo Wagner as, like, either or guys. And as long as they're playing them as either or guys, it's not ideal for either one of them getting there. Sorry, I just had my overlay alarm go off for Madden Sims. And if you know one thing about me, I'm hawking the overlay on Madden Sims, which is a little bit sparse, a little bit low these days at this current time. Lamar with the kneel downs to go under the bonus in game 1. Give me a break. Okay, so let's see. Suggs, yeah. All right, so I've made my discussion of Suggs component of the show. I've been trying to figure out like what I should do for the final component of the show that lets me know that it's like time to wrap it up, because obviously I kind of spiral out of control until it ends. But I don't know what that is, so I just kind of go to the bottom. Basically, I go top to bottom, and whenever I hit like 10%, because that's when I cut my screenshots off. If you look in the Discord, I always post my ownerships, but I don't post the guys I get to like 5%, because that's telling you nothing. I leave anybody in there like for 5%. If I'm gonna run 52 lineups, there's a lot of guys you play for 5%, and they're not guys that I would tout. You know what I mean? They're not guys I would tell you to play. I play them with like my $15, but I don't want your $15 on those guys. These guys are nuts. Like, let's look down here for some examples. Fontecchio, fine. I don't know, not for you, fine for me. Like, I don't know. That's not a firm stand on Fontecchio. Buddy Healed, that's fine. He can hit his shots. Is he going to get that run that he's been getting? I don't know. Alvarado, I don't know. These guys are not toutable, untoutable. So that's why I stick up here at the top. And where I will generally end the show is when I get to untoutable guys. So Jamal Murray, good, toutable, fine. Miles Turner, good, toutable, like huge upside. 9% is absurd. I mean, I guess people are not looking at totals enough, I guess, because that game just has a ton of points. And same with the Dallas Phoenix game. So that's, it's always been my strategy to play those high tempo games, but you don't even have to like mess around with the projections or anything. It just gets you there right away. So pretty easy. I'm jamming a lot of guys from the high total games. Besides those guys, who else? Garland, assuming he plays because he was in shoot around. I think he's not even questionable anymore. Let me check. Oh, they lifted the minutes limit. So Garland's going to be a great play today. How many minutes are they giving him? 33. Is that right? I mean, that's like seems minutes limited still. Yeah, he was playing 31 and they just said lifted the limit. So I would say he goes back. He was playing in the past 36 minutes a game. So I think 33 is a bit low, but light on Darius. I was expecting to be getting to more Darius today. Field 20%. I'll be what, 35% Darius today? Because he doesn't really have to hit shots, right? He gets assists. He does a lot of things in those minutes. So yeah, like what if I go to Court IQ and I just look at like the native Cleveland team without any like updates to who's on the on the court, and it updates because thank you. Okay, we get Donovan for 50. Who's I looking at? Garland. Right. 36.5, huh? So interesting. Garland for 36.5. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he gets 36 minutes, he's going to definitely get more points than this. So I think you got to have more interest in Garland. And Garland's going to be close to a core play here. Like I don't really have a lean that's stronger. I mean, Garland and who else? There's somebody else on this team coming off a minutes limit that now that I'm thinking about it, I should go and double check. Sabersim is taken correctly off the minutes limit. Cleveland, Mobley is the other guy. And they've also got him for 33. Okay, so this is just a problem. You're going to have more Mobley in the case that there is Donovan Mitchell out as well. But that's even more than this amount of Mobley. And this amount of Mobley is just a regular old everyday amount of Evan Mobley that you should have because he is just lifted from a minutes limit. And this is not 33. Like, let's check his stats just to confirm. Mobley stats. Yeah, 31. Like, so, okay. Lifted the minutes limit 2 points or 2 minutes. In the past, he's been playing 34 minutes. That's what I would expect from a lifted minutes limit, unless he gets in further foul trouble. So anyway, I think 36 is appropriate, and you got to give him those points. So that's why I'm going to get to a ton of Garland and Mobley. Not enough Mobley, given that he's 22%, probably to make him core, but I just think he's a good option. So good option. Evan Mobley, strong, solid option. Big slate, foul trouble possibilities, probably the reasons we don't get to him as much. And I mean, yeah, just like real positive case guys are the only guys you can be more than 50% on today. I think Sexton's probably where I draw the line. I like these top guys as core, Mathurin, George, and Sexton. Right now, all of them getting huge extended minutes, kind of shooters, kind of do have to hit their shots. I understand that, but really just so much opportunity and do a little bit extra. Like not all just shooters. I'm looking over here, I'm seeing like 4.5 rebounds for Benedict Mathurin seems like a lot. So anyway, you're getting to a lot of those guys. Trey Mann still is fine in that Charlotte offense. That what are we assuming about their guard situation? There's some questionable backcourt Cody Martin situation. We are assuming he's in. Great. Trey Mann's still a good option. Okay, on board. Grant Williams, fine, playing the backup five there for a little bit of whatever. Yeah, here he is. He's popping up a little bit. Jonathan Isaac, he gets those minutes, he gets those points. It's just like it's so shaky. I don't know. I can't be 25% Jonathan Isaac. He's fine for like a smidgen. What's a smidgen? 2x the field. Yeah, I love the dynamic stuff. Like for me, I would play him more. They're not though, right? Like I'm not missing anything. If you ever see this guy start getting more minutes, like consistently, Jonathan Isaac stats, then it's time. It's time to back up the truck on this guy, Jonathan Isaac. But I mean, yeah, you see what I mean? Like 15, 15. He sometimes gets those 25-minute games. Like, good to know they're in the realm of possibility for him. But I mean, he gets there because he gets like 2 stocks a game. But you can't count on stocks, right? So I got to get him a little bit lower, even probably. Where was I just putting him? Orlando dude. Where's my Orlando dudes? Jonathan Isaac. Okay, so Jonathan Isaac, I was going to limit to 15, and now that I've seen how stock space that is, I'm going to put you at 10. Pop to a little more Jokic. I mean, like, do I really need to limit him at 20? Let's go 30. I can be overweight to a little Jokic. When has doing this ever burned me before? The last two slates right before the break. I remember them too, guys. Don't worry. Into a little bit more Jarris Walker now to accommodate the Jokic. That's fine. I'm allowing up to 20%, assuming the field will be at 10%, assuming he's starting, based on some weird uniform speculation, which I don't know if you should really do stuff based on that. Oh, yeah, let's have a check. Any news? No, no news. No news. So, but for now, this is what I got, guys. Play some Wendell Carter Jr. He's fine down there too. But we're getting untoutable territory pretty fast down here. So oh yeah, let me do a little touch on the night slate. I did have a request for night slate. I probably won't MME the night slate. I'm tutoring right up until lock, so won't be around to answer questions. And it looks like it's going to be kind of news based because we just got the upgrade to what's his name? Sabonis. So Sabonis was like downgrade yesterday to doubtful on illness, and today upgrade to questionable on illness. So, like, if you were following along in the Prize Picks channel, then you were excited because from our initial picks, we got wild closing line value, but then we get him upgraded again. So on the upgrade, I took an unders on all of the top. Anyway, I've wound up at a huge straddle, which I think is pretty valuable. I don't know how I exactly do the math on that, but I got like 4 point straddle on two of these guys. 4 points, 3 points, 2 points, 2 points. There's like territory where both of them hit. Obviously, I don't think that's very likely. I think one or the other hits though. So I took a little bit of a hedge play on the original overs, which I took when Sabonis was out, when Sabonis is in. And I think that is how you build a correlated ticket. So not worried about that. Now in the DFS, what does it mean? So if he's in, we don't play Alex Len. If he's out, we do play Alex Len. And that's basically it. We assume Alex Len starts. That's what they seem to like to do in the past. Maybe you get to some JaVale also. Obviously, if JaVale starts, great for him. What are we projecting? I assume like 24, 24. No, neither one of those guys is getting 24. They're assuming some small ball. They're assuming a lot of small ball. No, yeah, that's fine. Those guys aren't that small. I was trying to think who would be the small ball five. Like Keegan's kind of big. Like against San Antonio, that's against Wemby though, right? At the five or backup. Backup Zach Collins is hurt. Barlow, something, whoever it is. I don't know if it's for sure Barlow. Yeah, I'm not racing to play a zillion percent JaVale McGee even at this value, but I am generally jamming Sacramento, right? So the word for the night slate is jam Sacramento, jam AD because LeBron's out. Rui probably also a little bit of value with LeBron out. Maybe you get to a smidge of what Reeves, D'Lo. Yeah, let's check it out for you. I haven't actually done this because I've not been thinking about. I've got a ton of money on the main slate today, so unless that goes really well. I do not expect to have a ton of money on the night slate. You know how that goes. All right, so Lakers with LeBron off court. Boom, boom. This is the spike day from like collecting tickets for the last 3, 4 months or something. So that's why. It's not generally a good strategy to have a huge amount on the line one night and then not other nights. Unless you win $100,000 on that night. Thank you, Haywood Heisman. Okay, that's a rounding thing. It was really 90 in a ticket. So I was like, you know. It's fine. Okay, so it's D'Lo. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I always in my mind I think it's Reeves, and it's a little bit Reeves, but it's massively D'Lo if LeBron's off the court. So where's D'Lo? What got a D'Lo? Ridiculous, preposterous amounts of D'Lo here. So you should update your projection for D'Lo on SaberSim to be, I mean, maybe not all the way to 47, but like pretty close. Like what halfway there would be 42. Let's go 43. I think you gotta like D'Lo on the night slate. I have definite large amount of interest in D'Lo. Who else was it? Reeves. Let me just make sure because like with D'Lo so badly projected, Reeves could be pretty low too. Yeah, I think I want to have him a little higher. Reeves is at 40, so I think he's going to get those minutes. This could be it should be a close game. So I think he gets those 40. We gave 43 to, yeah, okay. So they both look like pretty solid options. Looks like get to both of them in both lineups. That seems probably not random, but garbage in, garbage out. If LeBron's out though, I just don't know how you I was like, why am I not getting more Lakers? The reason? Misprojections. We got the wrong usages in there. I don't know. Maybe it's like uh, I don't know. I don't know how you could possibly get there. I mean, minutes wise, are they giving those not 36 minutes to these guys? 35.3, 35.3. No, it's they got the 36 minutes. So it's got to be down to usage. Yeah, because I mean the AD usage also, that's like AD at 60. Are we right? I mean, he's had some big games. I get that. But I think that might be not quite right. Yeah. He's getting 2 more minutes than 36, so you can get there, but it's like you might want to shave off a point or two from that AD projection. Just I do you I don't know. Nah, I mean like no, because if you bring it lower, then you got like Fox and Curry that are the same level, and are they the same level of guy? Sorry, Steph. It's a little bit too late in the career for me to say yes to that one. It was cool seeing you hit 3-pointers. Glad you can beat Sabrina. Just barely. I mean, like, let's be honest, depending on what kind of day she's having, right? Like, it's not, why don't you go shoot with the women's ball from the women's line? Let's see how it goes. But, hey, WNBA season around the corner. Now that the guy who I was like not making videos to try to not step on his toes is not making them anymore, I'm gonna make some WNBA videos whenever that starts. Hopefully that's not soon. I mean, MLB snuck up on me. We got the first spring training game right today, so I will not be making spring training content. We'll see about MLB content in general. Probably not until NBA season's over at the absolute earliest. I like the sport. I don't know if I have that much to say on the actual games, guys. Yeah, I'll talk about it in the chat, but I might turn over the reins if we have somebody who's better at baseball to make those videos because that's a long summer, guys. I might need a break until the fall. But I didn't really enjoy the break. Speaking of breaks, we had All-Star break just now, and it was fine, but mostly like I was just like waiting around at 11 a.m. I was like, where's my news? Where's some stuff to do? But yeah. So oh, okay. The secret hole we used to get into the fence, the secret hole in the fence we used to get to the local park without having to go around a block is now been mended, so we have to go on a longer walk to the park. It's terrible, terrible news. All right. I've now spiraled out of control enough to tell you you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be us.